Thanks, Goose. Alright guys, are you ready to test your timing and flex your fingers in bullet hell?
Yes.
Let's pump up the tunes and enter the gungeon.
Doof, 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 doof.
Enter the Gungeon is a top-down shooter with loads of personality. Your goal is to survive a series of dungeons which get increasingly more difficult the longer you stay alive. And all to a rocking soundtrack.
The music is great, isn't it? And that's a good thing because it takes the sting out of the constant failure. You will be defeated a lot in this game.
Enter the Gungeon falls into the roguelike genre, where failure means going all the way back to the start with nothing but your wits and experience. But you do unlock weapons and items as you progress, which will then start to appear in the game.
That's right, Darren, and that's the mechanic that pulls you through again and again, just teasing you to have one more go.
These games are often referred to as bullet hell shooters as well because there are just so many bullets to avoid. Look at this! Ah! Ah! Guys, this game is super hard.
Yeah, even when you're doing really well, it only takes a few bad moves or a silly mistake to ruin everything.
It's definitely one of the hardest games we've ever played on Good Game Spawn Point. But do not be disheartened, Spawnlings. Failure is your reward. Each retry will fill you with new energy to beat the game. New gear to find, new secrets to unlock. Oh, success is possible with hard work.
It's quite a mysterious game too, isn't it? Secrets are everywhere, but they're really hard to find.
There are lots of tricks you can do to make life easier for you too. For example, some weapons fire faster if you tap the fire button instead of holding it down.
Yeah, also if you catch on fire, then rolling will help you put it out quicker. And if you persist long enough, eventually you'll unlock shortcuts to later levels.
I really liked the levels themselves. The game generates rooms procedurally. This means you might see the same room more than once, but never the same dungeon. It mixes everything up.
Procedurally and randomly generated maps are common with this genre too. It helps keep the game feeling fresh as players will be retrying constantly.
I love that sound as you burst through the doors into a new room. It's always exciting and tense, just not knowing what's on the other side. Sometimes it's ghosts.
Well, actually, the ghosts are the least scary enemies in the game. It's the bosses you have to watch out for. They all have unique and complex attack patterns that require quick timing. Oh, I especially like the tank boss. Oh, such destruction!
Oh yeah, I have yet to beat that boss, Darren. Tough tank. You have to roll a lot to avoid damage. And when you're rolling, you're temporarily invincible, like in many games. And I found with this one, rolling into a bullet wave was actually the best way to avoid damage.
You also have a limited number of blanks, which clear the screen of bullets if things get too hectic. There are a few classes to choose from. My favourite was the Hunter. Her crossbow fires slow, but is very accurate. Also, the Hunter has a doggy.
Aww, who's a good doggy?
Hi, doggy.
Good boy.
My favourite was the Marine. I just found that his weapons and abilities were really useful in the early game. When you're learning the ropes.
The game also supports local co-op, and it is a blast to play with friends, but the omission of online multiplayer is baffling.
I had one criticism, it's that I wish those more powerful weapons dropped a touch more frequently, because I think you really need them to make solid progress.
Yeah, that's true. My favourite weapon was the Ness light gun, but I only found it once. It was by far the best gun in the game. Pew, 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 pew. And every now and then, a duck shoots out from the classic game Duck Hunt.
Quack. Such retro, much laser. Wow.
Well, overall, I enjoyed the snappy feel and the huge variety of weapons, so I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, there's a lot to like with this. If you stick with it, you'll have a blast. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 rubber chickens.